And Hugh.
And again.
And now, Disneyland Paris News.
The party's over.
IP, UP, we all P for IP.
Frozen assets.
That was the news.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans. Can you tell that Hugh wrote the headlines this week?
Yes, and you both memorised them. Although Lucy, you're slightly wrong.
No.
It was IP, UP. We all scream for IP, but you said we all P for IP.
I like mine better.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Sorry about the technical hiccup at the start. I'm not going to go into details about it because that just bores buddy.
It's all good. It's all good. I saw somebody in the chat who is going to Disney World on Thursday, and now the chat has scrolled up, and I don't know who it was, but I'm jealous.
Do you know what that means we have to do then? Mm-hmm. Do you want to go straight into the chat?
Oh gosh, why not?
Are you ready, Hugh?
Yes.
Who are they?
All about, please. Right, well, today, first in the chat, was there any... was there any
Was it a
doubt
done?
ever?
Was it a done?
It was the Dunn family. Says yay first in the chat.
Let's family done.
Let's keep swapping.
You know, is it Eurovision where you... Oh, no, you are allowed to win in consecutive years. What competitions is it where the winner from last year isn't allowed to compete the following year?
Oh, I don't know. That seems silly to me.
Well, it's in the Miss Dance rules, but
Indoor
no
dominoes.
one here competes in Miss Dance. Anyway, we should stop the Duns being first.
No.
Well, I did stop the Duns being first last week, and then you went and cancelled the stream and started another one.
Yeah, we had a bad stream.
Boo. Boo to you.
But second in the chat was Sam.
Ooh.
Who quite graciously said, hello, Dunn family. Gareth is here. Florida Thursday, Gareth.
I know. He's just
Man
said there was
alive.
me.
So gels.
Gels. Well gel.
Aaron has been walking the dog and finishing up a classics episode.
Ooh, which one? Where have you got to? Can't wait for that.
No,
carry on.
intriguing.
I hope it was Oliver and Company if he was walking his dog.
He's gone past Oliver and Company.
Oh, has he?
They did that a while ago.
You pushed through, did you, Aaron? We pushed through.
Dan is going to Disneyland Paris in 34 days, stopping at the Marble Hotel for 6 whole nights.
What?
6 nights?
And whose kidney did you sell to do that?
Are you allowed to stay there for 6 nights?
I know.
Come on, mate.
I know.
Hello also to Anne and Daisy, who says 99 sleeps till our trip to DLP.
Oh, I love it when you break the 100 mark. Does it feel special when you break the 100 mark?
10 more weeks for Sam. He says somehow it seems less time than 70 days.
No.
And then next in the chat was me, who said hi. Hello to Kiva, who's 56 sleeps away. Jimmy's here, as is Sugar Sweet Samantha. Wits Wanderlust. Moritz just got back from DLP. Dreams was magical, says Moritz. Hi to John and Pamela. Pamela asks how the countdown's coming along. I think we're finding out now, aren't we? Katia is here, as is Andrew, who says just made it. You did. Well done. Joanne. Evening all. Hello to Emma and Mark Chester. Hakuna Matata, says Mark. Linda is also here. Been watching for a bit. First time chatting.
Ooh.
Going to DLP in June. Hello to Team Confetti.
Help make content, Linda. Help make content.
Sugar Sweet Samantha asks a question. Did I say Sugar Sweet Mama earlier?
I thought that's what it sounded like.
Sugar Sweet Samantha. Yeah, I've just got a weird memory of me saying that wrong. Sugar Sweet Samantha says, I wonder if anyone here...
OnlyFans handle.
I wonder if anyone here can answer me this. I have very few friends that like to go to DLP as much as I do. Is there a group or something where people can meet and go on solo meetup trips?
There is, and I can't remember what it is, but I know there are, yeah. I'm going to try and look into this for you, because I know when I first realised that there was like an online world for Disney fans, I remember some people on Twitter kind of doing a bit of a sort of singles club where they would... where they'd kind of like buddy up and share hotel rooms and stuff. But I can't remember much about it. Because obviously, I was in with me, so I didn't need it. But I think it does exist. We will look into that. That's going to be an interesting topic if I can find out about that.
And also we have Scottish Claire, Linda, Cheryl, who is Nate? ? And Claire, and Sarah, and Bergie Boy, and Pauline. I think we're done. And Roz, and Angie,
Pauline.
and David.
Pauline.
That's it. That's everyone.
Aaron said they were watching the Looking Back episode where we went back over everything. And also said that The Wild was a very interesting episode. I haven't watched the film, but I feel bad for you guys needing to watch it.
Oh, please
Don't watch it.
Oh, no,
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. No, really don't watch it.
Is it? We all know there is a genre that is so bad it's good, and that's why these guys love the Star Wars Holiday Special so much.
It's good.
No, it's not.
Why would you
It's
even
not.
say that?
Sugar Sweet Samantha says, just call me Sam, but I'm going to stick to Sugar Sweet Mama.
But the question is The Wild so bad it's enjoyable, or is it just a waste of 2 hours
It's
of your
got
life?
clocks in it. I think that speaks for itself, really.
Once they started playing clocks, that's when I
Checked out.
proverbially tore up my paper and threw my notebook aside.
Was there some Italian-American alligators in a sewer? Did I remember that right?
Weren't there some offensive pigeons?
There were some offensive pigeons, yeah. There was
serious.
a very offensive
Serious.
Kiefer Sutherland as well.
Yeah.
And clocks was in it as well.
And clocks. You can't get over that,
I
can
really
you?
can't,
It
honestly.
just sticks out like a sore thumb.
I shouted at the television when I saw that bit. But anyway, can I just say,
Oh, dear.
Yes.
it's been Easter, hasn't it?
It has.
And do you know what
Hey.
Easter means?
Chocolates?
What?
Loads and loads of our listener-struck viewers have been to DLP, and we've had 4 trip reports, plus
Have we?
Stan Solo, whose show we went on a few weeks ago, has sent us 3 vlogs, one for each day of his trip to DLP. So we're going to play those one a week for the next 3 weeks, because we don't want to give him too much airtime.
Yeah, get your own podcast. Oh, he does.
But can I just say as well, before we go into important stuff like news and things, those of you who have sent trip reports have been very good at sticking to the 1,000-word limit. And that's going to make it an absolute joy to read these out later. Go on, over to you.
That's fantastic.
Bit of news then.
Should we do a bit of news?
One bit of news, and then ration, and then we're going to have something to drink.
That
Okay.
sounds like a plan.
I sound like I've been drinking.
No,
You
I'm
do.
not. I've been busy bibliographing and things like that today. So Hugh has done the news, so I know nothing of
Hughes
this.
News.
So I'm handing it over to Hughes for the news.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, the first headline was the party's over, and I only heard about this today. The 2023 Halloween and New Year's Eve parties have been cancelled at Disneyland
yeah.
Paris.
Yeah.
Regular guests will instead be offered extended opening hours and an enhanced experience.
Yes.
Now let's prophesise before we decide whether we're happy or not about this. And I just think the word prophesise wrong. Let's speculate on why this might be. My first thought was not economically viable, as in it costs more to put on than they are bringing in. But then I also thought it might be down to some kind of regulations. They might be struggling with local, because I know they have to use soundless fireworks anyway, and I don't know. Why might this be?
Well, do you know what I thought? My immediate thought was, from a very personal point of view, was, thank God if I go on Halloween again, I'm not going to get kicked out at 8 o'clock when I've paid for a full day ticket and the park's supposed to be open till 11, so that other people can turn up after work and creep in and get to do all this amazing stuff.
Well,
So
that's
for me,
great for you, but the thing is, from Disney's point of view, is you paid the same price for that ticket, but they got to kick you out and then charge people again to come in later on. So, I mean, they're not all, we'd love to think they're all about pleasing the guests, but that's not the case, is it?
I think they had a lot of problem with people not managing to see characters this year and queuing problems, so these probably caused problems with that. I can't imagine it's great. Honestly and truthfully, you're right. You're right. Maybe that isn't part of it, but then you must look at the number of people who are staying in their hotels who've got full day tickets, and they must have a lot of people unhappy about that situation. They must do.
Most of people not realise.
Why would you, not being funny, but why would you book to go on New Year's Eve to not be in the park at midnight?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So then why would you have to pay a supplement? It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
Well,
and this prompted us this week to have a look at Halloween for this year. Now we're not going, but we thought we'd have a look and see. And right up until 3:00 this afternoon, when I said, we can't really afford it this year, Laura and I were pretty set on the fact that we were going to go at Halloween this year. But and because of it. So,
because you wouldn't get kicked out.
Well, opinion is divided not only
because
here,
of something different,
but everywhere. Because half of the people are kind of saying, they're really surprised. It's a big money maker. Like, where's this come from? Why? What's going on? Oh no, I wanted to go that. And the other half are saying, well, good, as you said originally, Chris, because some of these after-hour parties can be a little chaotic. Some people have said, and then it's exclusive. Not only are you kicked out, we were once kicked out at like some side exit.
Oh no, that's exactly it. The magic is gone. They just go, do you know what? You guys clear off.
Yeah, we're not bothered
doing
about
magic
you
for other
anymore.
people now.
We're about these people who've paid extra. Get out.
Thing is, I've always wanted to go to one, and I'm like, oh no, they're not going to do them anymore. I won't get to go to them. But they are still doing like the annual pass holders things.
They're not saying they're not doing it though. What they're saying is we're not going to have to go through the logistics of kicking out an entire park's worth of people to let an entire park's worth of people in.
You can just stay.
I wonder, now that they sell exclusively dated tickets, I wonder if Halloween day tickets are going to be a lot more expensive, and New Year's Eve day tickets are going to be a lot more expensive. To account for the fact that they're saying they're having extra offerings and extended hours on those days.
If it's an enhanced experience, I imagine there must be some extra cost there, because then everyone's going to want to.
There's another thing as well, isn't there? Which is that if you're an annual pass holder, for instance, and I know that they've stopped, but there's still a lot of them. If you're an annual pass holder and you can't get a ticket for the day for Halloween, you can still potentially get a ticket for the night. So that in itself seems a bit stupid and backward as well, doesn't it? Or you might book your annual pass ticket for the day, and there might not be any tickets left for the night, so you can't go. So unless I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me the way it is at the moment, so I don't think it's a bad thing.
Either way, it's a pretty sudden development, right, guys?
And hot off the heels of stopping annual passes as well.
Well, the other thing
There's
is,
some stuff.
It's kicking off.
It is.
the other thing is, for years and years, they only had one Halloween party. And for the last 2 years, or was it one before the pandemic and then last year, they had two. They had one on the Friday night before and then one on Halloween as well. So I thought, if anything, they were extending the Halloween party offerings. I thought they might get a bit more like Walt Disney World, where they did.
Start doing them in August.
Well, it's got ridiculous at Walt Disney World, but let's say they
always Halloween.
started it at the beginning of October and had two a week all the way through October, if they could sell them. But no. They've just stopped them, and I am colour me shocked, because it's not often they throw money away. I get what you're saying about unhappy guests, but I can't. If this was a profitable endeavour, I can't imagine them caring.
If the park's still full though, and there's things going on, then people are still going to spend money. The parks are it's a black day. The park is full anyway. So you're saying that this will happen differently. The only thing they're missing out on is the £50 per ticket that they would have been getting. And like you say, they could end up charging more on those days full stop anyway.
I think they have to.
Aaron says, I'm down for this. It seems stupid to have to rely on both getting a booking around Halloween or New Year and being able to buy a party ticket.
Agreed.
Jonathan Cheesewipe says, my wife said you used to be able to get doner kebab in the park.
Yes, you did. At Hakuna Matata.
Is she having me on? He just retracted it as I was reading it.
You did. You could until literally a couple of weeks ago, and then they changed the menu to Hakuna Matata, but they had the sense not to call them a doner kebab. They called it a King's Feast.
There was something suspicious about that. As I was reading it, it got retracted.
I think that's cheese swipe as well, by the way, not cheese wipe.
Oh, cheese's wipe. Oh, cheese swipe. Okay, yeah. It does read as cheese's wipe.
Well, maybe it's that.
It does. Yeah.
Tell us, Jonathan.
There's other examples of
swipe.
websites having rude things in by accident because of that phenomenon, isn't there?
Claire says the New Year's Eve party shocked me more than anything. Oh, do tell. Sarah says maybe the midnight bit was too scary on Halloween.
Maybe. Maybe, like you say, they need to finish earlier.
Kira, I'm not sure what you're saying. She says, I feel like DLP is trying to bring itself more in line with the US parks, and 2023 is the transition period. So if it's more in line with the US parks, Kira, you mean like a month or more of parties. And then they're just using this as a way of kind of a reset. But I don't know why they would
segue.
do it this way. But you know, they've never done Christmas parties at DLP of any kind. It's always been in season. And they do, again, months of Christmas parties at Walt Disney World. So I don't know. Who knows?
Hey, guys.
Who does know?
Maybe Michael knows, who is watching live for the first time.
Oh, hey,
Hi, Michael.
Jonathan says, sorry, I was embarrassed about my kebab addiction. That's why the message was retracted.
That was my meal of choice
Sorry
in
for
Disneyland
calling you
Paris, and I'm gutted it's
Jesus
disappeared.
wipe as well.
Gutted.
Bring back the season of the Force, says the Dunn family.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, we loved that.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Hey, ole, it's showtime. All together. Your tiki, 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 tiki cup in your tiki, 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 tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki, 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 tiki cup.
Listeners might not know, but I was shaking my head from side to side, and I will feel that in the neck in the morning, and I'll be like, oh, what have I done? Because that's what happens when you
Over 40.
get into your 40s. Today, we're going to be having... we've done something like this before, Chris. You brought some... It's zero sugar. What the Fanta?
What the Fanta? It's iridescent.
Scan and guess the flavour.
I don't like things where I don't know what the flavour is.
I mean, it looks grape, doesn't it? On glance, it looks grape. And I imagine if you read the ingredients, it'll tell you what it is.
8 servings. Anyway, you be talking.
We had an interesting conversation on WhatsApp this week about what happens when you turn 40, didn't we?
Yes.
And the fact that we're both basically falling to pieces.
Bits start falling off you. You're like the Millennium Falcon.
It's a very enjoyable conversation.
Nice.
No
What
straws
is that?
today. Here you are.
I almost got straws. I don't know what that flavour is. It's quite unremarkable,
It's
actually.
food colouring, that's what it is.
No, it tastes pink,
It's purple in colour.
but it tastes pink. I'm telling you now, it tastes
Interesting.
pink.
Yeah.
Sarah Curry says, having never visited the actual Tiki Room, when we visit in a couple of weeks' time, I will refuse to believe that there was ever a different version of that jingle. I love the
Sorry.
Tiki Room. I liked it when I first went in it. I'm like, oh, this is a cool attraction. And then I found myself hankering to go back.
Gets better.
And then this time when we went, I was like, I sat there in there going, I love it in here. I absolutely love it. We did it twice.
It was the last thing. You went down on Main Street, so you'd already done it. And me and Bonnie went into it, and it was the last thing we did on this trip.
Did it tear you? It teared me.
No, what doesn't help is walking out past the castle and there's some music playing that's really like emotional, and that's when Bonnie starts crying, bless her, because she's so sad to be leaving.
Yeah.
And it gets me upset then, because she's distraught when we're leaving. She's not. I always say this. She's not brattily going, oh, I don't want to go. She's heartbroken to be leaving, and it breaks your heart.
And she says things that make you cry, like, but we've just had such a lovely time together, and stuff like that. And you're like, oh my goodness.
Sarah says, was it the up music? It wasn't. It was some kind of parade music.
Oh, but it's all about dreams and wishes and the magic in
yeah.
your heart, and
Gets
those
you,
things.
man.
Yeah. Vanilla. A lot of vanilla.
Are you talking about the music or the
Yeah.
the yeah?
I think it's quite vanilla-y.
Okay.
I'm getting something. Yeah, I think you're right.
Cream soda-y, isn't it?
It's cream soda-y. That's true.
But maybe a little hint of cherry, maybe something like that in it. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fruity soda.
Who
And there's a lot of love for the Tiki Room, but I have to say, Alid, you're wrong.
Oh, what's
He
that?
says, mystery flavours, the only permissible things are Bertie Bott's every flavoured beans.
Oh my word! There's
It's-
some actually foul
It's
jelly
Bertie
beans in
Bott's.
there.
I think it's PTSD from Bertie Bott's every flavoured beans that has put me off trying new things that I don't know what they are.
I get it in the films and in the books. I get it. I understand that they have them, and yeah, I got an earwax one once or whatever. Why would you put those actually into sweets?
Exactly.
It's fun. I like it.
Vomit flavour and
Yeah,
things like this.
yeah.
The vomit one's awful.
The vomit one
The
is-
earwax one ain't that bad.
I'm sure there's an egg one which is grim. I had some dog food flavoured jelly beans once.
But
Ooh.
They were bad.
Oh.
Bad.
I'm scarred from it. Scarred.
Anyway, next bit of news.
Yes.
IP, UP, we all P apparently for IP. Pizzeria Bella Notte opens up a new room. Now, I thought they were just changing the whole restaurant. I thought, what? But it's already IP.
No, they got
themed.
rid of the
They
gelato
did.
gelato place.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
Yes,
That's what it
yeah.
is. So there's a new room called Porto Rosso, inspired by Luca. DLP report photos exist. Do we want to see some? Shall I bring some up?
If you get them up,
You
and
can,
stick 'em
whilst
on,
I just go grumpy on the fact that why are they getting rid of an ice cream stand?
Well,
Why?
it hasn't
Beautiful.
been open for ages, and the little calf place outside the Alice's Curious Labyrinth now does ice creams anyway. So
I know, but it doesn't do gelato, scoop. It doesn't do scoop,
No.
hand scooped ice cream, does it?
no, but it does
squirty.
nice ice creams though.
Squirty cream.
Very Instagrammable ice creams that everybody loves. So I think it's a fair replacement. And also, they need more space in some of these places. They just do. They just need more space.
True. I'm just bitter because I can't eat tomato.
I know you're looking for the pictures, but can I just say, I'm liking it. I was talking to Hugh before the show about the fact that I don't feel generally that Pixar belongs in the main park. Personally, I just don't think it does. However, this place looks absolutely brilliant. My only criticism of it is I don't think they needed to slap a big picture of Luca in the middle of the wall. Apart from that, I like the theming is fantastic. It got a real nice feel to it. You can go in there and go, oh, this is from Luca. Like, you don't need a picture of Luca there in front of you to tell you.
Yeah. My initial response to all this is like, oh no,
Yeah.
no. But if it's subtly done like this is, then I think it's great. Now, I had to find these via. So this is
You need to look to see it.
This
and
is
then
DLP report.
that's WDW
Pictures
News
on the WDW News Today website.
Ah, okay.
You see, because when I looked on the
So we're doing third-hand reporting here.
When I looked on the Twitter feed, they seem to be all separate, but they've been collated here. So check out the DLP report.
if you're listening,
As
and you can't
always,
see this. Yes.
As always. So yeah, but it's kind of subtly done. It's based on like a fisherman's workshop. Is the theme.
That's
So
all right.
I really like the look of it.
I do
I
find
like
it interesting though that what is predominantly a pizzeria now has a whole room dedicated to a fish shop. 'Cause you can't go in there and get any seafood.
True.
That in itself is a little bit strange.
I would
but
like
that's
it.
the bit I'm not so keen on. So this picture of I
Yeah.
understand why it's there, but for me that kills the theming because it suddenly becomes you might not know what this is, so we're going to stick a massive picture here to tell you.
Yeah.
What about what looks like a shortbread?
Oh, we
Look
love a
at-
shortbread.
Is there Nutella inside? Is there?
I would
You know it.
I would gamble yes. Now
It's €4.
I have a question. First of all, I really enjoyed Luca the film. I really did. But it doesn't seem to have gained much traction in toys, merch,
No.
etc. Is this going to seem irrelevant in 5 years? 5 to 10 years?
I
Are we
don't.
going to be like,
I don't
Luca?
mind if it's a smaller film like this. It's not. I didn't really rate the film, to be honest.
I did. I liked
But-
it.
I enjoyed it.
If it was like a huge film, then the IP would be really like apparent because it's like a quieter, smaller film. It kind of keeps the IP overlay thing kind of subtle. I don't mind it actually, and I'm generally against this shoveling on of IP, like just covering everything with IP.
Speaking of shoveling on of IP, and I know this has been mentioned in the chat as well.
Yes.
How are you feeling about the impending doom that is about to befall Fuente del Oro?
Well, you've just shown your cards there, Christopher.
No, right. Well, my cards are this. My cards are. It's had Dante outside it, and the cone obviously as well.
The cone of shame.
On many occasions in the past, and I've always felt that worked really, really well. I don't see the need to change the name of the restaurant in order to theme it.
It's going to be called Casa de Coco Restaurant de Familia.
So there you go. Straight away they're going,
Yeah.
we're going to name this after the film. It doesn't need to be that. That's what I don't like.
I don't want to say an insult to the guests, but it patronising. It's like
Yeah.
they don't give much store to the audience's intelligence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now having a Mexican themed restaurant with those the paper story bunting, there must be a special name for it. You know the type I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. having that kind of decoration and having some of those Coco designs, which are quite recognisable, having Dante there. I'm down with all that theming, but I agree with the name of... I don't think it has to be as blatant as it is, basically. And I think that And also, you're going to have the shop next door selling all the Coco-themed stuff anyway, like it already does. So if you've got the kids who are mad for it, they'll get the idea.
Mad for it.
Mad for it.
We've got Worlds of Pixar.
Worlds of Pixar.
And then all the Pixar restaurants, apart from for Chef Remy's place, are all in the other park. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It feels like if you're gonna have an area that's dedicated to something, then the stuff for that place should be in that place and not somewhere else. They're getting rid of the cartoon. They've got rid of the Toontown thing, haven't they?
Well, yes.
Going to, and they're replacing that with more Pixar stuff.
A new Toon Plaza, an immersive experience featuring Pixar favourites old and new, including a raised platform.
Excellent.
Wow.
But here's my thing. Frontierland is currently, within reason, IP free. I'll just take you through it. You've got Phantom Manor, Silver Spur Steakhouse, Last Chance Cafe, Lucky Nugget, and then you've got the
shooting gallery,
the Mercantile, the shooting gallery, Thunder Mountain. It's not until you get to Pocahontas Playground round the
riverboat
back.
round.
You've got the riverboat ride, and it's a fully immersive themed land.
Yep.
Without the need for IP, and I think that the management's, like I say, it's patronising to the audience, thinking that we need that. They're going to sell us it anyway. They can make money out of it in the shop, and they can put the figures here and the characters there and so on. But to actually begin to ingrain it into the land, I think is a massive shame. Now, you've kind of got it in reverse in Adventureland because Pirates of the Caribbean became an IP, not the other way around. You do have Aladdin's Passage. But we were doing all right there. Has he got Hakuna Matata? Okay, so you've got a bit more in Adventureland.
Not Aladdin's Passage. No, not Aladdin's Passage. Oh, yeah, that is there.
Yeah, in Adventureland.
For some reason there, I thought it was in Hollywood Studios. No, it's not. Sorry, carry on.
So actually, you've got quite a...
Cafe Agrabah.
And Swiss Family Robinson is technically it, and Indiana Jones. So yeah, okay, I'll take it back. You've got it... In Adventureland, you've got quite a lot, but in Frontierland, it's a genuine example of what a Disney theme park can do that doesn't rely so heavily on the films.
There's things afoot in Florida though as well, isn't there?
Yes. Well, if you trust the scoopers, if you trust the scoopers, there's stuff going on. They're getting rid of Frontierland. Did you know?
Oh right. Okay.
And just turning it into New Orleans.
There's one more bit of news in this. There's going to be an edition of a new show called Together, a Pixar musical adventure coming to the Studio Theatre in the studios in summer. It's going to be a half-hour show featuring a live orchestra and 5 scenes from the Pixar catalogue. I know Monsters, Inc. was mentioned, but I don't know what else.
Sounds
good.
I
think
that sounds really good, yeah. I'm all for that.
I love a show.
Which one's the Studio Theatre?
It's the one that was doing the Marvel one, not the one that was doing Mickey and the Magician, I think.
Yes.
Although I do often get those mixed up. I think the Animagique one is the one with Mickey and Magician. Studio Theatre is the one with Marvel.
Yes, I think you're right.
But, yeah, so this is the one with Marvel. But no longer Marvel, because Marvel now has its own land. And presumably, did we see something was going on around the stunt show area? Did I imagine that?
I've not seen that.
I don't know, but have you seen this? You've heard about this? The video that Disney Imagineering's released showing the Frozen. This is the next bit of news. The Frozen construction.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Have you not seen it?
It's looking big.
I've been busy.
This would be right up your street. You'd have been there with your maps out. I missed that. You know, when you used to get your maps out.
I loved my map.
Have you seen this? You've heard about this? Just go on YouTube, which you're probably already on. Not now. Do it later, won't you? Wait. And just look up Disney Imagineering, Frozen Land. I did tweet it earlier today, so You can find it on the, what's the date today? 16th, Sunday the 16th of April, the tweet. I tweeted a link to it.
You've got everyone excited about the stunt show.
Yeah, all I think it was is there was some aerial photos or drone footage of the fact that they'd ripped some stuff out, which made people think that they were going to do something with it construction-wise. But it may also be that they've had to rip it out for maintenance reasons.
They've cleaned it all up, haven't they, a couple of months ago? Got rid of all the green from the Jungle Book jive or thing that never happened. That's
it. That's what got people going, ooh, what they're doing. They're doing things. And I think a bit after that, they ripped some of the like structure out. But if you've got something like that isn't been maintained and has got hydraulics and stuff, which I believe it did, they might have needed to rip it out. But it did get everybody on Twitter very excited. But I think the stadium is still there. And that in itself, it was like a 1,000-seat stadium, wasn't it?
I forget how big it was because we've got a video of Bonnie there. And I said, how many people do you think are here? And she goes, like 100. When she was about 3.
But the thing is,
2 even.
While ever that stadium's there, I think they have to make some kind of show. It would just be such a waste of that kind of space in that location. The theming is ready-made. I don't know. But no, I'm sorry to disappoint, guys. I don't think anything is happening with it. But there was a bit of a flurry on Twitter because it looked like something was happening. Excuse my wind.
Have you seen the concept art and stuff for the Disneyland Hotel that they showed this week as well?
I haven't.
There's a nice picture of the I want to call it a foyer. That's not what it's called though, is it? What's it called? the big open bit at the bottom of the staircase.
Atrium.
Hall. The hallway with Tiana and Naveen greeting guests and stuff, and it just all looks really nice and pretty grand. And they've announced as well, haven't they, that is it Moana and Tiana and Raya are going to be themes for some of the rooms.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? Pretty cool.
Raya, another good film, flown under the radar.
And it's opening 2024, isn't it? They've actually committed to that now, I believe. They've committed to
I'll
Disneyland
believe it
Hotel
when they start
opening
taking
2024.
bookings. Are they taking bookings?
Well, if not yet, but if the Marvel Hotel's anything to go by, that started sort of like the May time, didn't it, before it opened? Is that right? May?
Yeah.
Before it opened.
Thing is, my memory is terrible. Wasn't there a thing where they took bookings and gave an open date and then had to push it back by 2 months and refund and rebook everybody for the Marvel one?
No, because we booked ours when we booked it. Obviously, we didn't stay there in the end, but we booked it and there was no need to move it. Oh, maybe earlier bookings did though, potentially.
You
might be right.
Have a blank.
I don't recall that.
This.
You might be right. I do think though that it was all right amongst all the COVID stuff, wasn't it? So that probably didn't help matters.
Yeah, the time scales and they were opening and closing like yo-yos as well, weren't they, at the time?
Yep.
Hi Morgan. Morgan's just joined, just got back from DLP 2 weeks ago and it was so fun. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. We live in the US and have never been. I love to hear of US travellers coming over to what I feel like is our park, our little mini European perfectly formed diamond of a park.
Well, as I said earlier, we've got a video of a Canadian who's just been over here and has just arrived back in Canada.
We do indeed.
Ah.
Well, we can play that if you want.
Should we play that now?
Do you want to
before
do
we
that
do
now?
the last piece of news?
We'll give ourselves
We've
a
done
bit
all
of
the news, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we have done the news. Yeah.
What was the Frozen thing?
just talked about
Oh, yeah.
It's a brief one.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to press this.
Audience Trip Roundup.
I'm going to tell you we've got a bunch of reviews, but we're going to start with Stan's because that'll give our voices a bit of a rest for a minute.
Yep.
And so have a bit of a listen or a watch to what Stan's had to say about his day one.
Hey, Chris, Lucy, and Hugh, and as well as friends of the Disneyland Show podcast. Stan Solo here from the Solo Show and the Grand Circle Tour podcast. I'm sitting here in the restaurant in Cheyenne. I just finished having a wonderful buffet breakfast. And I just want to do a quick review of the first day at Disneyland Paris and Disney Studios. Is that what they're called, Disney Studios? As you may or may not know, I'm a Disney World fan. I go to Disney World often, Disneyland a couple of times in California. So I hate to compare, but it's hard not to. Now, having said that, this is my own honest review. These are my own opinions, so if you don't like them, I'm sorry. But When we first off say the park was absolutely beautiful. The castle's magical. I think it's the most magical castle I've ever seen. I still have to go in. I'm going back to a couple more days and we see the dragon and the labyrinth and stuff like that. The Stitch show I didn't get a chance to see. But I had a string of bad luck this whole first day. Went to do rope drop Peter Pan and it went down. We exited, didn't get into the attraction at all. Did the canal boats. It broke down while I was in line. I had to leave the canal boats. After that, I did Pirates of the Caribbean. I did Phantom Manor twice. Absolutely love Phantom Manor. It was so good. The whole park has amazing theming. But the weird thing for me, anyways, is the Lion King show being in Adventureland or Frontierland. It just doesn't seem to fit there. Having said that, the Lion King show was amazing. I just loved that show. It was so good. I prefer it over the one in Walt Disney World, hands down. The drone show, or I should say, before I get to the drone show, went to for dinner at Chef Reddy, and so good. I mean, the meal was great. The meal was good, but the service I had, the cast member I had that was serving me, she was phenomenal. Probably one of the best cast members I've ever had at a restaurant. So good. I got a picture of her name tag. I got a picture of her. I'm gonna have to send in a nice complimentary letter about her. She made the meal that much better. It made a great meal into an awesome meal. The drone show, there was no drones. They just before they went live, they said that the drones were canceled. I wish you would have told us earlier. I would have zipped across to Disneyland and watched that one, because I only have so much time here, and I want to be able to catch both shows. So now tonight, do I go to the drone show and hope that it's going to be the drones, or do I see the Disneyland Paris show? I don't know. I guess we're going to try the drones again, because I really want to see that one. I've never seen a drone show before. Then the next day I'll do Disneyland Paris, regardless of what, and see their fireworks spectacular. But overall, I had a great time. Hotel Cheyenne, I was really tired. I didn't get here till like 11 o'clock when I was finally checking in, because I went straight to the parks off the train. The cast member that checked me in, a little bit snarky, but I think it was all humor. I think it was just the way she delivered it. And I could see it. It was matching my type of humor. Like, I work in customer service, and I'm a little bit snarky occasionally with my customers as well. I got the furthest possible building, almost the furthest possible room. I asked her, do you have anything further? Is there anything you can get me that's further away than this one, please? And she said, you know what, I could put a cot right here beside my desk, and you can stay in this cot. I was almost tempted to say, does it come with a shower? Because I really didn't, at that point in time, I didn't feel like walking to the other ends of the earth to get to my room. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. The room is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It was so well themed. I love all the little amenities. I am surprised there's no fridge in the room. I brought like bottles of water, and now they're not cold. A fridge in the room would be nice. A coffee maker would be nice as well. Neither one of those are in the room. Kind of surprising, but I get my coffee here at breakfast, so that's fine. Overall, I'm having a great time, though. Hopefully I have better luck today, and if I have time, I'll do another video for day 2. Thank you for watching the Disneyland Paris Show, and check out the solo show on Grand Circle Tour podcast. Have a great day, everybody. Actually, have a magical day.
Isn't he a nice chap?
You know, with all these problems with things shutting down, he also emailed me straight after he'd sent this video to say, I completely forgot to say, I also got taken off Ratatouille in the first room.
Oh, no.
What a first day.
See, I've...
Bad luck. Really is. It's not normal, is it?
No, I've never been walked off anything in Disneyland Paris, and we've been a lot.
I
I've been walked off a couple of things at Walt Disney World, but you had to get walked off the worst one,
Hyperspace Mountain.
So you have to get climbed off, don't you, when that happens?
Were you upside down at the time?
Yeah, we were sideways. No, we just got to the top. I think they deliberately stop it somewhere decent at least, don't they?
Yeah.
So Stan's done us a second video, and he's done us a third video as well. So with a thought,
first in a series.
Yeah, we'll serialize them. So next week we'll show you day 2, which means you'll get to find out whether or not you got to see that drone show.
So that was a new hope.
Yeah, we were we were chuckling at the snarky person at the hotel. I'm not entirely
It's
sure.
all part of the flavour.
It sounds like she just had like a wry sense of humour.
Yeah, it sounded like it to me. Yeah,
You know, like, oh, I can set up a cot here, you can sleep. But then, conversely, he's had one of the best cast members he's ever had at a restaurant in Paris.
Do you know, funnily enough, we've only eaten at Remy's once, and my memory of it is, well, I would say mediocre food for the price, amazing theming, but we loved our cast member. We loved her. And she was like...
Can't remember.
Well, there was three tables quite close together, and she was speaking Spanish to one,
I remember you saying this.
Dutch to another, and then English to us.
And Klingon to us.
And then
which
she
was
came
alarming.
over to us and started speaking Spanish. Went, oh, I'm sorry, wrong language, right? And then carried on.
Oh, I forgot where I was.
But I mean, and then we started I started questioning her on that, and she was just so lovely, but she was humorous and kind in 3 languages. She herself was Dutch. I presume she could speak French as well, but she was speaking Dutch, Spanish, and English when we met her.
My
So it's
experience
crazy.
of Dutch people when I used to Eurocamp a lot as a kid was that their multilingual skills are phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal.
absolutely. It's when someone is that level of proficient that they can change language mid-sentence, and you know what I mean, that kind of, they're just genuinely multilingual, not trying to speak a different... Anyway, I'm getting off on one. But yeah, we had an amazing cast member there as well.
Bergie Boy says, Stan is a legend.
He is a legend, and if you want to listen to his show or watch his, does he watch it? No, it's listen, isn't it? If you want to listen to his show, check out the Stan Solo Show, the Solo Show. It's available on all podcasting places. I'll try and put a link in the chat tomorrow when I sort this all out and when I put the podcast out as well. So if you're interested, have a listen. We really enjoyed going on this show, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was good fun. It was a really good chat.
It was.
He comes from the cold place,
He does.
and I was very fascinated by how cold it is where he lives.
What I like about this video and the other two, because I've seen them as well, is that we're getting a perspective from somebody who, as you were saying before, isn't someone who's regularly over here, and this isn't his park. It's not his park.
Because there's a very, very different feel to Paris than to Walt Disney World, and I'm often I'm always really interested to know how people find it, because if they think they're coming to California or Walt Disney World just with a different language or some different food, they're wrong. It's a different place, and I'm just interested, really interested how they find it.
So I've got a bunch of other trip reports. So I'm going to do Helen and Sarah's now. I was going to say something, but I've forgotten what I was going to say before I started it. So I'm just going to read it anyway, and I'll pretend that I didn't just say all this bit now. That's just wasted 30 seconds of the show.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you again. Team Confetti says, proud to be Dutch. Well, we're proud to
we
have
should
you
be.
here, Team Confetti. And we love Dutch people. They're always lovely.
Apart from Max Verstappen. But that's because I'm an F1
Is that
fan.
football?
Is that a football person?
Formula One.
Formula
Oh.
One? Okay.
And I don't really dislike
Good guess.
We're not sports people.
No.
Okay, this is from Sarah Clipston. Helen and I absolutely love 37 Disney Street. Helen, aka Nell, listens to you while she's working, and you're my company on my way home from work. We've tried not to make our report too long. We can see Hugo rolling his eyes, but we really enjoy your listeners' report, so wanted to contribute.
Yeah, what was that? Because
Right,
I read that, but I didn't understand which bit I was rolling my eyes at.
As soon as Sarah had sent this email, I got another email with the subject, "Sorry, Hugh." It was just a typo. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Right.
okay. But you saw that on our
Shall I
messenger.
roll my
the other day.
eyes?
Go on, roll your eyes. We've tried not to make our reports. Oh, I've just said that. So here goes. Sisters Trip Reports, April 2nd to 5th. Annual pass holders and lucky to be on our 3rd trip within the year. Stayed at Camp Davy, perfect for the 5 of us. The first day was a bit grey and cold, but the rest of the stay was beautiful. We didn't book any restaurants this time as we wanted to enjoy the snacks. My favourite was a Stormtrooper waffle covered in Nutella.
Yes.
And then there's a smiley face that looks like this.
Yeah.
Licking its lips.
Yeah.
My
that's the one.
favourite DLP snack, word up.
A slice of heaven
She's
sitting in the
easily
sun.
pleased, aren't you? Go on.
A slice of heaven sitting in the sun behind Space Mountain with a coffee and my feet up. How long did it take you to get the coffee? That's what I want to know. €5 on its own, all right, with the coffee. We can't recommend the Mad Hatter's themed ice creams enough. Wow. We had cups of delicious ice cream with 2 rich brownies and a generous sprinkle of nuts, Wonderland ice cream, and a cone with heaps of popcorn and caramel, unbirthday ice cream. The Wonderland one's got the door knocker on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
I saw a video of Magical by Sarah eating one of those today.
Ah, there you are. Both well worth €5 each. The only drawback was the queue because they are so good. We also tried the new hot dogs from Marvel Fantastic Truck, €11. The Incredible Dog with cheese, bacon, onion, mustard and tomato sauce. Really nice. More than a snack. Delicious. As recommended by Magical by Sarah. Good call.
It's two mentions within 30 seconds.
Yeah, there you are.
Friend of the show. I just want to be awesome by association, Sarah. Sorry.
Didn't love the cake pops from the bakery on the corner of Main Street. Looked good, but tasted weird. And the big Nutella cookies with ears were a bit stale this time, sadly. Oof. The parks are open late now and busy due to Easter, so a chilled morning enjoying the park. It's so pretty in the spring. Then a trip back to Camp Davie early afternoon for a nana nap before going back to ride with much shorter wait times and enough energy to see the shows. Laura calls them nana naps.
This guy, king of nana naps.
I am a nana. If anyone doesn't know what a nana is, it's a grandma. I love a grandma.
Or a granny.
Yeah.
Or a grom.
A grom?
Yeah, that's what.
Wow.
He's one of those people who can just fall asleep in situ. So if he's just sitting watching a TV show, he'll just go, and he's fast asleep. I can't do it.
I'm good at sleeping.
Gam gam. Gam gam.
Gam gam.
The annual passes are frozen at the moment, but as we have active passes and expire within the next 2 months, we were allowed to renew at the old price with a 15% discount. Magic Plus, £275 is worth every penny. Don't rub it in.
Oh.
These two will not be happy. We're all living the new Marvel land and worth the stress of quickest finger and booking a slot at the training academy. Great interactions with Thor and loved watching the Star-Lord dance show. Frozen Land is coming along nicely and will make the studios a real must. Lots more trips in the planning already, so we'll be back real soon to our happy place, Helen and Sarah. Now, look at that. That's a great length report, that.
Perfect.
Look at it.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah.
I've just remembered
Oh.
that when we go in August, we're going with a Spider-Man superfan who has never been to Avengers Campus, and that's gonna be special.
It's gonna blow his little mind.
It really is, and I'm really looking forward. I've got such pain in my wrists, but I'm really looking forward to doing the web slingers.
Yeah. Chris, we had a good question from Lauren today. Have you got that on your list of things to do today?
Do you know, I do have it on my list of things.
Well, I've got it here.
Oh, you've got it there?
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask it.
But you don't know if you had something else lined up.
No, I've got the trip reports, but by all means throw this in.
Well, Lauren today, was it yesterday, sent us a question, which was, what are your favourite Disneyland Paris and Disney World vloggers, and how helpful are they at planning a trip? Now,
they're all rubbish.
This is the thing, because we like a lot of vloggers, but some of them aren't very information heavy. And some of them are information heavy, but it's not the specific information you need, which is why stay tuned to us.
We magazine it all.
We like Sam for God and
Yeah.
Magical by Sarah for Disneyland Paris. They're the main ones we watch for Paris, I think. Other people who've done Paris do other things. Justin Scard of
Random Land.
Random Land, thank you. Justin Scard of Random Land, I think his YouTube channel's called Random Land, does some really good videos, but he's just been to Disneyland Paris a couple of times, so he's got like 5 videos up, but they are really good. Now with Walt Disney World, we watch a lot, don't we?
Yeah, I find All Ears and Mammoth Club are very good for information.
Yes.
Like nitty-gritty stuff, and very good for resort tours.
Yes.
As is Paging Mr. Morrow is good for a resort tour.
Yes.
The contribution is outstanding, Lucy.
Well,
I will
Pamela
say-
says Lucy has the best tips.
She does have good
Oh,
tips. I
thank
agree.
you. This is
That
kind.
was not dirty.
This is kind of a compliment. But Paige and Mr. We watch Paige and Mr. Morrow a lot. We are big fans. However, I will say he likes everything to the point where it's not as informative as you'd like, because sometimes you want to know when things get busy, or if that's not very good, or if this show, you know what I mean?
And it's not because
he just likes everything.
It's not because he's like a shill. It's because he's
just sunshiny
his
person.
whole his whole reason for doing these videos is to spread positivity. So he just went to the new Toy Story Land restaurant, and he said, I'm not going to review it now because they're just getting started, and he's worked in restaurants, so he's kind of cut him some slack, whereas we would just be like, oh, it was terrible.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're not full-time vloggers. We're just people who go there for pleasure, and we will just say what comes out of our mouths. It
depends what information you want. If you want like park operational information, Mickey Views is our favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like a news shirt, and he's very, very well informed. Braden. But I think Disney Food Blog.
When he's not having a go at people for using a certain style of arrow on their thumbnails.
Oh, that's a different thing.
He had a spat with someone else that we like.
DSNY Newscast. DSNY Newscast I really like because he does all Disney. So he does movies, Disneyland Paris, American parks, it does corporate stuff, and I'm into all of that. So I recommend DSNY Newscast. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, but for actual trip planning, I would say Disney Food Blog, All Ears and Mammoth Club are the best for actually telling you stuff you need to know, like how to use Genie Plus and stuff like that. And then Disneyland Paris, Sam for God, and Magical by Sarah.
And I like to see you on Main Street as well. I don't know if they've done much recently because I watched them a lot more like pre-COVID, so I've not watched a lot of them recently. But they're really seem like a really nice couple, and I would quite like watching their shows. The other thing is, if you want to see what the rides are like, I know a lot of people don't, but if you do want to, DLP Welcome do 4K walkthroughs of pretty much every ride, which is quite a useful way if you want to know whether it's going to be scary or not. Obviously, on the dark roller coasters, you don't see a lot, but that's kind of what it's like when you go on them as well. Yeah. But yeah, Magical by Sarah as well. Just to go on what you were saying about resort tours and things, her room tours are fantastic, and her reviews in the restaurants and things are brilliant as well. So if you want to know the detail about various different places in DLP, she's definitely one to go and look at.
And while we're recommended things, did you listen to Chat Disney? They had Nathan Firesheets on, also known as a coaster story @_coaster_story, who did the 12 parks in 12 days challenge, where he rode every ride that's in operation at the parks. And I forgot this. This kind of got lost in the whole thing. But Chat Disney actually kind of made that take off because Mercedes' sister was in the park and randomly was queuing up behind him, and he had the sign on his bag, and the sign was only on his bag for one day because it got wet. So this random chance, she sent the picture to Mercedes, and Mercedes tweeted it, and then it kind of kicked off. So she had him on the her and Tash had him on the show the other day, and it's a really good interview. And the stuff about Sequoia Lodge was like eye-opening. He said it's like one of the worst rooms he's ever stayed in in a Disney park.
Oh dear!
Because he was using a floor plug, and it was attached. It was connected to the lights. So all the stuff that you had to keep charged for this challenge. Listen to the chatdisney.co.uk.
Did we mention that last week or the week before?
We mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
We were talking about the plugs in Sequoia, because if you unplug the standard lamp to use that lamp, it's
on the light circuit.
So when you turn the lights off, you turn the plug off.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
What are people in the chat saying about things to watch?
Probably loads of things
Gareth Pierce.
We're going to go away and be like, oh, I didn't know about these people.
Wants to recommend Theme Park Worldwide. They do parks in UK, France, and US.
I've watched
and
a bit
give
of them,
ride-throughs.
yeah.
Cool. I don't think I have, but I will keep an eye out for them. Who is it? Sorry, there's somebody else I like, and I can't think. He does like more informational videos. I'm going to try and look him up while we're doing this. Sorry.
What, for Paris or Disney World?
Disney World, Disneyland.
Oh, do you mean the
Annie Stars, as Emma Sylvester says, Annie Stars has got lots of great Walt Disney World vlogs too.
Cool.
Are you talking about these stats guy that you like? No.
Maybe. Which stats guy?
There's a guy you used to watch. He's like he just does like nerdy stats.
Probably. Yeah.
Have you forgotten what that channel's called?
Yeah.
So have I.
I'm looking.
With 5 minutes to go, shall I do another trip report?
Yeah. Oh, we also like the Diz. That's Florida mostly.
So I'm going to read. I have 2 other trip reports, but I think I'll have to wait till next week now. But I'm going to read Scottish Claire's trip report. Ooh. Scottish Claire's been to DLP.
Offhand Disney. Continue.
Hi gang, says Claire. Wanted to share just a few highlights from our recent trip to DLP. We flew EasyJet from Edinburgh to Charles de Gaulle and stayed in Sequoia Lodge. The parks were full each day and very busy, but as my daughter qualifies for Priority Pass, we weren't too worried by the crowds and had a great time. I like it when they do this. Scottish Claire's put headings. Best surprise of the trip. We walked up Liberty Arcade and turned left along the covered walkway towards Big Thunder Mountain. A stage door opened and we bumped into Stitch, who gave my daughter Beth a big hug. It was kind. So I read this as it was kind of Stitch to stop, but what she meant, it was kind of Stitch to stop and spend a few moments with us before heading off to his meet. Just lucky timing and made our day. My word, that took a bit of effort getting my teeth around that. Time that made me think of the 37DS gang. We headed off on Car's road trip, only for the driver to announce there was un petit problème avec l'audiovisual. Sure enough, we crawled around in silence with the screen blank, and the ride was essentially a trip in an airport bus with a visit to Catastrophe Canyon at the end.
I don't think you missed out too much.
That sounds like an improvement.
Well, there's not a lot going on anyway, is there? And that was even less.
It gets better. After a couple of minutes, to break the silence, the driver asked, "Anyone know any good tunes?" I thought to myself, I bet Chris could fix the audio and visuals. And if he couldn't, the gang could just get a sing-along going.
Yeah.
Top tip, tax reclaim. We didn't spend a fortune on merch, but I thought I'd try out the tax reclaim process to see how it worked. I gathered up my receipts and took them to the Disney fashion store in the village. They had a till there dedicated to tax reclaim. I had to present my receipts along with my passport, and they asked for my email address and credit card details. I was given a form with a barcode. At the airport, the tax reclaim area was well signposted, and I just had to scan the form and posted it in a box. The tax was credited to my account after a few days, a refund of £16.73 on a spend of €167, so around 10%. The process was quick and easy, and I'd definitely do it again. Wow. Oh, there you go. Disney Fashion has a tax place.
That's a good tip.
It's good to know that, isn't it?
That is a good tip.
Yeah.
Avengers Power of the Night and Disney Delight. Disney Dreams in one night. Yes, you can. If you're wondering if you can catch the nighttime shows in both parks in one night...
Shouldn't this be in a Scottish accent?
Yes, you can. On the first night, we tried to watch Power of the Night with drones weren't flying for no obvious reasons. The weather was calm. Don't know what that is. with just the projections, Tower of Terror, and a few fireworks, the show didn't make much sense, so we gave up and went back to the hotel. On the second night, the drones were flying past and we stayed on the outside of the crowd for Power of the Night, ready to make a quick getaway. Am I relaxing into this?
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Okay, good. Our view was fine, and as soon as the show finished, we joined a stream of people making their way to Disneyland Park. There was a bit of a queue to get in, but once through the gates, we headed up Discovery Arcade and found a great spot between Plaza Gardens and the entrance to Discoveryland. Even though the park was busy, we only arrived about 20 minutes before the show started. Our view was great and not too crowded.
That's a popular area,
yeah,
isn't it? But it's all popular, but we often end up scratting about in there, don't we?
Do you know what? I was so busy listening to his accent, I wasn't listening to what he was actually saying.
I was listening.
Ethical dilemma. We didn't have a meal plan, but booked a few restaurants through the DLP app. I've dropped it now, by the way. The accent is gone. For me, my husband, and our 2 girls aged 15 and 12. Our first was Pim Kitchen, where the waiter charged us for 3 adults and a child. Next was Downtown at Hotel New York, where the waiter asked how old the girls were. I answered honestly. I know Disney class a 12-year-old as an adult, and I was worried to be caught out in a fib if I lied. The waiter looked at me like I was daft, and I realised then that presumably no one is aged 12 to 14 at Disney buffet, and kids just stay age 11 for 3 years, so until they emerge as a strapping 15-year-old. Our final meal was at Hunter's Grill at Sequoia Lodge. Again, the waitress asked how old the kids were, and again, I couldn't bring myself to lie. I received the same more money than sense look from the waitress. So my question to the group is, was I a mug? Should I have pretended my youngest was 11 to save a few euros? Or is it always best to tell the truth?
I would have done what you did,
Same.
but then I would have agonised over it and thought about it and banged my head against the table and kicked myself. But in the end, I just can't bring myself to like look them in the eye and say it.
Do you have like family mantras? Like we've got 3 sayings, which are the Rains always pay the way, the Rains are always on time, and the Rains always order way too much tapas. But the first one was we always pay our way. So. Like when I was taking Bonnie on the bus when she was getting into paying age, I'd say 1.5, and they go, "How old is she?" And I'd say, "Well, she's 5," and they go, "No." And I didn't like it when they did that. I like to pay my way. So
I agree.
I don't think you're a mug at all. I think you did the honest thing.
You're a good, honest person, and we love that.
It's to be commended in this world.
However, when the My Disney Experience app automatically added my 20% DVC discount, even though I knew I wasn't entitled to it as a resale member, I didn't correct anyone.
Well, what are you going to do in that case? So, are you going to go, sorry, because they'll have no system for you to give them that money.
To take a discount off that has been automatically...
Yes, please.
I was just offering more drink to any listeners who wonder why Chris said,
I'm doing this backhanded here.
We really respect what you did. Not everyone would have done, but we respect what you did.
Yep, absolutely.
Kira is saying lie. You've flown that flag high there, Kira.
Well, she's not written it in block capitals.
It is. There's an exclamation mark.
My mum did it when I was a kid in Disney World, where adulthood started at 10. Yeah, that's going to be tough. We're going to squeeze in one more Disney World trip before Bonnie jumps
haven't
that
finished.
milestone.
No.
Sorry, go on.
I've nearly finished. Thank you.
Now you've finished.
We don't have another DLP trip booked, and think we will probably wait a while until the village renovations are well underway and Frozen Land has opened. Meantime, we'll keep listening and filling our Tiki cup every Sunday night. Thanks for everything, Scottish Claire.
Thanks, Scottish Claire. That was a lovely report.
And we've got 2 more for next week.
And we apologise for the offensive accent, which was my idea, but Chris didn't refuse.
It wasn't that offensive. It would have been worse if I'd have done it. It would have been Nicolas Cage doing it if I'd have done it.
It went a bit glomgold.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing. DuckTales, get it watched. The new DuckTales is brilliant, but what's he called? Something Glomgold. Is terrible accent.
The thing
Scottish
is,
Claire says your accent was great.
I learned to do a Scottish accent reading Irving Welsh books, because you have to read an Irving Welsh book in a Scottish accent. And then I didn't do that for ages. And whenever I do accents or voices, I'm very nervous about it because I'm not very good at it. So if I was to speak with a Scottish accent for about 40 minutes before the show started, then I'd be relaxed enough into it and I'd be able to do it fairly comfortably. But to do it off cuff like that, I just can't.
Thing is with Scotland as well is there's several regional Scottish accents as well. Like Glaswegian is very different to Edinburgh.
Well, I was told I was somewhere
massively
between
north.
Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Yeah, you're perfectly hitting a certain village between the two.
Someone I used to work with actually told me where my accent came from.
I got mine from watching the Limmy show. Or just Limmy in general,
Limmy.
Had you got a birthday card, eh?
I can't understand half of that show.
I got it for below. Aye, but you didn't get it for below. I did. That's a hang though. I'm freaking out right away.
I'm just conscious we need to finish the show.
Okay.
Right. so
it's time.
Can I do a quick?
Me laugh,
can I do a quick pluggity plug? We're going to go and do the Extra Magic Time show now for our Patreon listeners, and we've started. Our vault is now open. Well, it's ready to be opened. So everybody who is a Patreon subscriber gets an opportunity once a week to have a guess at how many sum-sums we have in a basket, and if they get the number of sum-sums right, they win a prize.
They don't win the sum-sums though. Bonnie thought I was giving them away.
And we got a little lip wobble when she thought that.
So what's happening with us? No, they're not the prize.
So today, Craig Shortland has sent in a guest, and we will be looking at that. And he could win. Do you want to know what he could win? I feel like sharing it.
Yeah.
He could win a Marvel board game, a Disney Snow White Funko board game, a Mickey Mouse and a Minnie Mouse Lego set, and a 50th anniversary soap dispenser. At the moment is in the vault, with other things to be added as well. So if he gets it right, he'll win that stuff. If he doesn't get it right, someone else will have a chance next week, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
And also, what we're doing next week on that show.
We are reviewing Return to Oz.
Yes.
On our Classics show.
We are, which will be recorded live in front of the Patreon crowd after this show. But then it'll go out as a regular podcast to all you regular podcast listeners. So you'll get an opportunity to have a listen to a new Classics, in inverted commas, episode. That's all I wanted to say, just that stuff. Housekeeping, innit?
Yep. Good. That's it. Lucy?
Thank you very much for joining us. I've been
That's
Lucy.
it.
These have been the boys. Goodbye.
Bye. Ciao.
Bella.